You guys, our mental health is our responsibility. Our past traumas, PTSD, depression, anxiety, stuff that's happened to us, whether it be we were raped as a kid or even as an adult, we were molested, we were forced to cook drugs, we were fucking abandoned as a child, whatever it is. It's our responsibility to own it, and it's not easy, you guys. It's the furthest thing from easy, and you know what? It takes bravery, it takes courage, it takes a lot of humility. A lot of humility. Who wants to go around saying, I'm not saying you need to go around, but who wants to say, you know what, yeah, I've been raped, or I was molested and forced to do, you know, X, Y, and Z. Who wants to go around saying that? It's embarrassing. The fact is, it's not embarrassing. You know what? There's people who care. There's people who understand that there's sick people in the fucking world. And those people are just disgusting. They disgust me, people who do that. But those people aside, we have to live with that now. We have to live with that. That's our life. It's happened to us. We have to own it. We have to take extreme ownership. And if we want to have a mentally healthy life, you have to own it. Again, it takes humility to own that stuff. But you gotta humble yourself. You gotta break it down and just own it. You gotta take pride in it. I'm not saying, oh, I've been raped, yeah, or I've been molested, yeah, I take pride in it. No, it's not a matter of that. It's a matter of, you know, just accepting that's what happened and using that to make you into a better person. But if you can't own it and you go around just trying to mask these feelings and these traumas that's happened to you by just putting on a smile or just you know, being nice to people, and you're never really talking about it, it's going to eat you alive. It's going to affect your friendships. It's going to affect your romantic relationships. It's going to affect a lot of things. It's important you take ownership, guys. You know what? I've been to prison. I've been to fucking detox. There's a number of things I deal with, man. Stuff I've done in prison. There's shit I gotta deal with every day that I have to live with every day. But I've learned, and I'm continuing to learn to cope with it. Because some days it's harder. Some days it's not so easy. So it's not like, oh, I'm good. I recognize it. Okay, cool. That happened to me. I'm good now. Let's move forward. No, it's an ongoing process. You know what? If you've done what I've done, it doesn't leave you. It doesn't just go away. If you're raped as a kid or as an adult or put yourself in a bad situation, that doesn't just leave you. You know, you can hide it. You could smile all you want, but it's there. It's there. Other people may not know it's there, but you know it's there. So with that being said, guys, you gotta take ownership. If you want a mentally healthy life, you know what? You want to be happy, you have to own your past. You have to own the bad things you've done. Some of the things that we've done or been through are consequences of our own actions. Okay? How many females do we know? And I'm not trying to exploit females, but how many females do we know who go out to the bar, get all dressed up, or dressed down, I should say, and you know, you guys all know what alcohol does. It really puts your guard down. So how many girls do we know where they put themselves in a situation with guys or multiple guys where, you know, there's potential to get taken advantage of sexually because you're drunk, and there's no consent, even though you might be drunk and, you know, girls might consent to it. That's not full consent. That's taking advantage of a woman while she's drunk and her guard is down. And if you're a guy and you do that, you're a sick piece of shit. Period. That's rape. That's fucking sick. And I know a lot of guys who do that, and I don't fucking hang out with them. I don't fucking go out with them. I've gone out with dudes to the club, and and all they're looking for is girls. Hey girl, let me get you a drink. Hey girl, let me get you a drink. Hey girl, let me get you a drink. Because they want to fucking get laid. If you have to feed alcohol to a woman to get laid, you're a sick piece of shit. You're a fucking loser. Period. And I'll stand by that till I die. I've never, ever gone out on a date and said, hey, let's go get a drink. Now, I have the balls enough. I might get nervous sometimes, but I have the balls enough to say, hey, I like you. I want to take you out. You know, let's go for a hike. Let's go to church. You know, let's go do something fun. So that, there are times where we put ourselves in bad situations, and we have to own that just as much as the bad things that have been forced on us. Stuff that was out of our control if we were a kid. There's situations like with myself that I've put myself in. I wasn't forced into prison. I wasn't forced to stick a needle in my arm and get high. I wasn't forced to do any of that at all. I chose to do it because I thought I knew best. Okay, after it was all said and done, I dealt with the consequences. I had to own it. Okay, I had to own the damage I did to my friends and my family. I had to own the fact that my mom and my dad, for about 2.5 years while I was running the streets getting high, and then let's add in prison. So that's 6 years, 7 years of them not being able to sleep well at night because their son is getting high. They don't know where he is. They don't know if they get a phone call at midnight. They think it's the fucking coroner calling from the sheriff office saying, hey, we found a body. We think it's your son. Can you come and identify him? Okay, I have to live with that. I have to live with the fact that I put them through that every day. There's not a day that goes by where I don't feel remorse. I don't feel guilt. Where I feel guilt and it just eats me. Okay? At the same time, you guys, I don't beat myself up for it because I've made amends. I've owned it. I've talked about it to them. And we're on a good relationship now. Okay? But I still have to cope with it. Okay? I have to cope with the fact that I went to prison and thought every day was going to be my last fucking day. And I also had to own the fact that I put myself there. And if it is going to be my last day, then you know what? It's my fault. It's my fault. It's not my parents. It's not my friends. It's my fault. I have to own it. And I still own it every day. Every fucking day. It's not easy. And to those of you who have to do that too, my hat goes off to you. Because shit like that is not easy. It's not fun. And it's humiliating sometimes. I hid for a while after I got out of prison that I was even in prison. I pretended I was the perfect role model citizen. And it was eating me alive. I finally said, fuck it, you know what? I'm going to talk about prison. I'm going to own it. You know what? The day I did that, my mind was free. I still struggle with stuff I've done in prison. I still struggle with, traumas that, I've been through. But I own it. I took responsibility. And that's what you got to do. And if you're doing that good job, keep doing it. It's going to get hard at times. I get it. Trust me. If you're dealing with different stuff, the mental health part, it's all the same. Like, we deal with depression, anxiety, the trauma, it's all very similar. You got to just keep going forward. You got to own it. And if you are owning it, good job. If you're not owning it and you're wondering what the fuck is wrong with your life, man, drop down to your knees, have some humility and own it. Talk to people about it. Say, hey, you know what? This happened to me. And it eats at me every day. There are people who care. There are people who you can sit down to and say, hey, I've been to prison. Hey, I'm an ex-drug addict. Hey, I've been raped. Hey, I was molested as a kid. And you know what? There are people who fucking care. I get it's humiliating, but if they're your friends, if they're good people, they're going to sit down and say, hey, you know what? It could go this way too. They're going to say, hey, you know what? I was molested too. You may not even know someone's story because you're not opening up to them. Because you want to be perceived well. That could happen. You know what? There's plenty of times where people have opened up to me and they said, hey man, like I fucked up, Nolan. Like I'm not doing good. I got high. I'm a drug addict. And, you know, I'm on parole right now and it's embarrassing. Hey, bro. Guess what? I served 3 years in prison. I've been in and out of detoxes. I've been homeless on the streets. I've overdosed with a needle in my arm. What? No way, dude. Not you, man. You're the most straight up, like, outstanding person I've ever met. You're the most straight-laced person I've ever met. Yeah, dude. I've been through it. Talk to me about it. That can happen. You gotta open up. It takes humility. It takes ownership. Extreme ownership. If you guys listen to Jocko Willenick's podcast, he talks about extreme ownership. That's where I got that from. And goddamn has it stuck with me. It's made me own my past even more. His podcast on extreme ownership and his book on extreme ownership. It's tough, okay? The world is sick. And I've been to prison and I've been around some fucked up people, some fucking evil people. Okay? I thought getting out, life's gonna be good. People are working jobs, people are in relationships, people can do whatever the fuck they want, people are just gonna be happy. The fact is, people are not happy. People aren't happy. We deal with inner demons out here, okay? And because the society says, you know, we need to go out to the clubs on Friday and Saturday and mask our feelings and drink alcohol and, you know, live music and concerts is the way to have fun. You know, how about society steps back and say, hey, like, you know what, if you're struggling with this stuff, you know, you probably shouldn't drink alcohol, you know, and go to these things. You should probably seek help and learn to cope with it. You know, learn to balance out, you know, the fun of life and coping with your past. There are times where I've been invited out to concerts and I don't want to go because I get social anxiety. You know, I've been around a lot of bad people in prison, and you know what? In prison, you guys, you know, you never know when something's going to pop off. You never know when a riot's going to happen. You never know when your time's going to come. There's a number of things. It creates a lot of anxiety in me. So when I'm around a lot of people, I don't know if someone's going to pop off, and likely chances are they're not. But you never know. And that's something I struggle with. And I'll say no. There are times where I've been invited out and I'm all, yeah, let's go. Let's go to a concert. Let's have fun. It takes ownership, guys. It's a constant effort. Like I said, it's not just recognizing your past and your traumas, whether it's been stuff that's happened to you forcibly or stuff that have been consequences from your decisions. Either way, you have to own it and you have to live with it every day. And it's not just recognizing it and saying, this is what happened. Cool, I recognized it, roger that, let's move forward. No. There are traumas that stem inside our brain, inside our psychology. The pain, the agony, the disgust. There's lifelong pain that comes with situations that we've been forcibly put in, or that have been consequences of our actions. There's a lot of pain there. A lot of that pain doesn't ever go away. We have to cope with it every day. That's it, guys.